Hopefully Imperial aren't riding in first class, because they're second class right now on their T-half. Hey, look at that light. That's quite...
Quite a bright light.
I don't know, man. That's not energy efficient. I don't know if the government's going to be happy about that one.
Almost sums up what Imperial want to do, but they can't actually do, unfortunately, for them. The light always there in close range, but fading at the distance. We are at least going to see something, though. Big aggressive push coming in from Reason. He's going to find one for his troubles. A nice little attempt at a trade. He's only going to get dropped down to 18 HP, though not actually a frag to be connected. There is going to be some early presence coming in over on towards Connector.
Yeah, charging their way through, trying to take that early aggression towards B. Obviously, Pulse is the first line of defense. The front line infantry, as they are going to go for this burst on towards the site. Reason is there, 18 HP. Pulse just repositioning as well. Hoping to just have a little bit of a stealthy position, get the drop on them after they come into the site, try and get those initial frags on the board. They're going for the jump face as well, trying to scout some information here. Switching out to the USP on Windansky. Hopefully you can find some pistol snipes to try and do damage as they go for this slow contact towards B. But the game has been given away. They had to fire. Now they have to execute. They also have Stanley in the high up angle trying to do some damage. We'll get Dink though. Does fire back with a nice little opener.
And that opener really does pierce things open for the CD side. Pits them back into a 4 versus 4. It is going to be a bomb plant, but Weather finds herself one for his trouble. Boaster going to dive on through, though. Punishes Pulse in the meantime. Stanley stuck on a ditch. But it doesn't matter. Weather, he's the insurance here. He's the one to say Imperial. You try so hard. But now you really have to deal with close-range battles, something they are sufficiently weaker at. Jacob trying to throw a bit of a curveball, though, goes aggressive onto the counterpoint. The Stanley finally deals with that problem. But it is just Jacob to play the man from above, playing a pivotal role. But these shots just aren't quite landing. He is trying to find a needle in the haystack. Can he take down that bomb planter? So far, they're just double stacking. He's done so much damage, but the fuse is still being dealt with.
The human body shield. He was just able to take so long next. They didn't have the kit. That full 10 second defuse. He must have been so close to the end of that. Jacob just kept going for the jiggle peaks, kept trying to face. Actually worked his way through as well, picks him off. I mean, fair play at that point. A very awkward round towards the end of it, but he does actually close it out. Yeah, I mean, well played by Imperial. Obviously, they're going to pick it up. Now they need to not have a sloppy half, though. What I mean by this is come into this hard and fast. Pick yourself up 3 rounds. You go for the very heavy investment into SMGs. 2 Galils as well. That's the bit that, you know, maybe is a little bit too kind of off the mark for me. If you would have gone for those UMPs, definitely a lot more usable. A bit cheaper as well as they try and go for their way towards the bomb site. The Galil, definitely usable in the hands of Connor as he gets the open run towards Stanley. Making sure FM have no chance into this round.
CD side, though, wrapped into a hell of a lot of angles here with their pistols, with that UMP. So they do always have an opportunity to try and make something out of nothing here if they play their cards correctly. There's going to be a bit of a boost to come in from Weber. He should be able to try and look towards Pillar, see if he can face anything there. Isn't quite going to work out, and actually a bit of a pre-fire towards Sandbag. Could have hit a frag, but a bit delayed. It's going to leave you a bit of a saving grace of Fryer, but that bomb, it's going to keep on ticking, and we're turning this from a winnable round for the CTs to, okay, play for some exit frags, because that's all you really have time to try and pull off now. They're waiting. The Deagle shot will spam on away. Fry is going to pick up one on towards Boaster. Make it nice and close, in fairness, but still, no time.
Yep. They are going to be able to close it out. Good play from the guys over on the side of Imperial. We'll better close that one out. Only losing 2 weapons as well, so obviously forced out on the rebuys. Weather had that UMP that he had from the start anyway, so they're not going to be able to scavenge any of the weapons, which is good for Imperial. Hopefully into this one, they can finally get a couple of frags on Jacob and Windansky. Just try and rack up as much cash as possible off the back of these SMGs they have. Reason's going to go for the MAC-10 as well. So smart. Try and just get as much cash injection as you can in this final round. Close it out with a 3-0 off the back of the pistol, and then the real game begins.
Really nice to at least see this early on approach, though. It's good to see them playing smart, because they could have just rushed these pistols and it could have all but fallen short then, but no. For now, though, it is going to be a push coming out towards Monster. Face first from Follow. Risky play, but one that certainly nets at least an early on reward. A MAC-10 going to run riot, makes himself so much money, but look at Fry's position, tapping away with the USP. A flash is going to go off. He'll find himself one. Weather with the UMP to try and run a bit of riot into the works, but only able to skewer just a little bit more, which has impact. It drops Imperial down to just 2 players alive, but they're on 3 rounds.
Yeah, that would have been huge actually as well, because Fry, if he would have had a weapon there, could have done so much damage. They actually jumped over it. They jumped on top of the barrel, so he thought he had cleared it. So they wouldn't have hit that again. Fry could have just come in with a massive 3K spray down. You know, if luck could have been there, but obviously it doesn't work out that way. So unfortunately that round is going to be shut down. Obviously Imperial now 3 rounds snapped up, as you were saying. The AWP is donned by Jacob. Let's see what he's going to bring to the table with it. If we'll go potentially aggressive, try and find a couple of openers. You can see as well, Weber has the one on the opposing side, that CT side defense, as they just set themselves up. Weber went for the initial peek towards mid, try and get the information. And now the T's try and fire back. Slow mid control, tiptoeing their way up.
Bit by bit, they try and creep their way into a bit of a crevice that they can try and force a pick out of. But don't forget, this is a CT side who can flick a bit of a switch. One that formulates aggression and one that is very, very passive. The flash is going to get popped, but Pulse, he turned for it, but it doesn't matter. The double face coming in, both of the insurance swords long will net that first pick for the T side. And this is something that we stressed so much in that first map, but the trades with a negative point, that was the double-edged sword. As Weber peeks out with AWP and finds one on towards Connor.
Reason as well, such a prime time position, but unfortunately Stanley is completely aware of it. We'll be able to eliminate him as well, leaving them in a 4 versus 3 as they still want to try and make their approach towards that A bomb site. Nilzinho playing around toilets as well, even though the smokes are going to go through. I think that should be the GT smoke that goes up as they try and approach the site now. Oh, they actually find a frag. That's huge from Jacob, but Weber with the fire back, leaving them in a 3 versus 2. They kind of have to go for it at this point. 28 seconds left on the clock. If they want to try and run the risk, it needs to be a commit now. And Weber, he's in so many easy positions to find these frags. Can just reposition wherever he wants, takes down both. So the bomb will get planted, you'd imagine. Isn't even going to happen. Stanley in the rear will be able to find the frag towards Dansky. And they can now double up set up immediately. Now this is where things get hard for Imperial as well. Sure, you have those rounds where, you have the advantage in terms of economy. You can punish your opponent on that CT half. But now you're in the full buy against your team on the full buy. It's going to be really hard. And left in this situation as well, where now they have these awkward buys once again, Imperial should just be picked off by FM.
I think to take this even further, Imperial, these next few rounds are what you used to describe as the learning rounds, right? They kind of go, okay, how are FM playing? But the problem is, FM with double ops is going to be completely different from this standard buy round. So even if Imperial eventually tackle that double op setup and force them back to just one, those rounds they spent learning mean nothing.
Yeah, it's true. That's the thing as well. It's going to be a slightly awkward setup in terms of what they're going to go for. Maybe a little bit aggressive. Pulse as well. Had the drop on him, but it doesn't matter. Boaster, that is a sick shot as he takes down Pulse swiftly. Does actually upgrade as well. Unfortunately, it is only a UMP he was able to scavenge at that point, but it will still help them out a little bit later onto the round as they reposition, potentially wanting to go for a late round B burst. You have Boaster with the UMP as well. No nades though, so it will have to be a dry all-out fight, a scrap to see if they can gain control of the site.
FM have to be very, very careful here. These Tech 9s, they can be quick down and dirty. So easy for them to do damage close and personal. Just run, left click your heart's content pretty much. The Poster walk on forward, finds an entry pick from the UMP, but Stanley just gonna mow them down. Finds himself a triple kill, whips out the USP, finds himself a 4th. Imperial, they had their shot. Well and truly blundered.
Yeah, unfortunately they're just getting completely destroyed. Smackdown. Nilzinho had the angle covered as well over by Short, so Jacob is just gonna run openly into his crosshair and gets picked off. FM, now 2 rounds on the board. Imperial as well, working out what they actually want to try and do in this situation. Buyers will be coming back out. How are they going to play this? That'll be the interesting decision, because if they lose this round, it's really going to sort of set the scene for what you'd imagine. Imperial, in the past, they've really struggled in their T-half overpass, especially in these buy rounds, where they're going up against the full buy of the opposing team. They haven't had the decision-making or the strategy to actually pick them off. Is this going to be the game changer? Have they worked on things?
We're certainly about to find out. It's already early days, but we've seen a few shoulder peaks here and there. Nothing really to be read into just yet, though, which is always going to be a bit of a positive. Boaster going to spot out Weber towards long now. Gives him the idea of, okay, that's where they're playing the AWP. But a simple flash from Weber could net himself an opportunity with the AWP, but he plays his cards very close to his chest, wants to fall back. Before makes a fresh setup for the CT side. And I like this, because it leaves Imperial going, okay, what are they actually going to do here? What angle are they going to be facing? Is he Pulse going for a very microscopic change, so to say, but one that has so much value, because instead of playing in toilets, he plays on the flip side, plays out towards short. And that's just an angle that Imperial might not check.
Yep, just these slight alterations, definitely things that could come back to bite Imperial if they don't take the extra time out to clear their angles. As that time starts to run down when they get into the crunch, that's where they have to react very quickly. Right now they're setting up, they have utilities to play with this time around, which will be the game changer. You can get those smokes out, use the Molotovs as well, zone out and draw out the CTs. Get yourself into a better position off the back of those nades. Use that utility as they hold, waiting right now, and then we'll go for that commit on towards the A bomb site. But the bomb will be going for the slow approach towards B after you hear the rash rotate. That's why Reason's there, just waiting out for those footsteps. Connor though, hopefully doesn't get seen, does get spotted as well. They now know the bomb is there, they can try and shut this down.
I like this push coming up towards A, but the problem is they're taking so much loss over on towards this B site, including that bomb, that, well, what does it mean? You look at the clock in itself. It's all just a bit of an awkward predicament for Imperial to try and handle. FM gonna mop it up. They take it one step further to 3-for-3 in the 7th round. Looking to be very, very brutal now for Imperial, because you have to kind of look at them and go, okay, you had a good run. Things were looking to be at least a much better start. but have you really adapted? And, well, the double lot setup is still going to be in play for FM even further, which just really puts them deep down in such a dark spot.
Yeah, they really have been smacked down. They're not in a great position. Pulse as well with the aggression now. It's going to go for the first phase, spots them out, but doesn't want to run the risk of getting picked off early, giving them an advantage or any stake in towards round. Weber as well, that's an unfortunate miss. We'll go back and actually takes down Jacob, redeems himself a little bit. But look at the approach from Boaster. Fast as he sprints his way up long, trying to get the drop on him, hoping they can at least do something, possibly scavenge some weapons into this round.
Couple of jewels to be taken, a bomb to be dropped. And these pistols, well, would have been nice to see them do something, but can't really expect too much. And, well, it's one thing we can kind of talk about, not necessarily in this round in particular, but past rounds. Imperial do tend to be caught with their pants down in terms of the bomb's location, right? It feels like it's getting dropped in very odd positions.
Yeah, they want to try and have that organic style of CS where if they want to reposition late into the round, they can, but there's been scenarios where if they're playing that more aggressive style, they can sneak up, they find the bomb location, you kill the bomb planter that's all on his lonesome, bomb gets dropped, it just makes things really awkward. They've also been trying to go for more split and pick style CS early round, and then work that into a fake in the late round. You saw that with the A take, where basically it's going to be the late round execute on towards B as a fake. The bomb planter got spotted, Connor got killed, and everything fell apart.
Tough situation for Imperial to try and work with, but they have to clock onto that nice and early. We can't be seeing it take 9 or even 10 rounds for them to realize what is going on. So now it is going to be some early usage of those grenades. A couple of smokes are going to formulate out on towards the fountain area. Flash as well is going to be popped, and some aggression and was certainly going to come in towards long. But early days, not a single jewel to be taken, only map control to be in play for Imperial.
Yeah, they've been able to branch out, able to try and lock a few things down. What more can they actually do into this as they do make that slow approach? Once again, leaving the bomb behind, just waiting it out, hoping they can at least get some kind of advantage in the battle of attrition first, then make their split decision. Connor's going to try and go down connector now, reposition with the team. It seems like it should be the late round B take. Good positional play from the CTs though. They do have the crossfire setups, so if they burst their way out that door, there should be at least a trade coming out to try and slow down Imperial on the push.
And that trade has so much impact because they just whittle down those numbers, and Imperial, the less numbers they have, the harsher things are for them. They're a team that really struggle in those 2 versus 4s and 2 versus 3s. Well, we still have to keep that take hold. Who is going to come out on top of this scenario? It is going to be Weber, sort of lurking in the shadows with this AWP. If he can find that first pick, it's already so strong. The smoke is going to go on out with a core cluster of 3 for Imperial. They're all throwing nades. They're going to go completely off guard, and that is going to be the case. Pulse dropping that bomb, finds himself 2, dips in for a 3rd. Pulse making sweet, sweet work of his opposition. Easy frags for him. Stanley now coming in right behind Boaster. Imperial, no idea how to respond.
Yep, nicely done there as he was able to line them up and mow them down. Just leaves Reason left in a 1 versus 5 unwinnable round as well. As you can see the time ticking away. Things will expire. So unfortunate. Obviously trying to set up those smokes, wanted to go for the execute on towards A. Just caught off guard. They weren't really thinking about it. No one was covering the angle. Pulse just went for the dry face and just shut them down so easily. And you can see that as well. They get those first 3 rounds right off the back of the pistol where they have the advantage in terms of economy. As soon as it is a fair fight, they are struggling so hard to achieve anything on their T side.
You've got to give it to players like Pulse as well. Just the individual concept of, I'm going to peek here dry, I'm going to play it in this way. It's so rewarding for FM because it means that them as a team as well, they just put in so much easier scenarios to kind of work around. Their IGL can sit there and go, boys, I'll do whatever I want to do. They always have an advantage. Connor at least is going to strike back though and pull that one away from him. Pushes further forward though, right through a Molotov, but gets a 2nd on towards Pulse.
Yep. This isn't great now, as they have got these first 2 frags. Sure, they were a weapon down at the start of the round, but now their arsenal is looking better than ever as they make their approach towards that A-bomb site. There needs to be a mass rotate now, and they're still scared as well, because there's been a few rounds where Imperial have gone for the fakes, so they're not quite sure if it will be the straight-up commit. Nilzinho does spot someone out, but the miss of a lifetime really needs to find that frag. Bring it back into a 4 versus 3 would have been more manageable. But Stanley going out on his lonesome as well. Has to try and make it better off the back of his own face. Does a good job. Jacob's also going to fall. Now it's a 3 versus 3. If they get another frag on the board here, this is a winnable round.
Yeah, almost certainly, bit by bit, they begin to make their push straight out of the front roll, looking to get smoke down on towards that bomb as well. That is going to take hold. Minatsky throwing up a very high flash, but that doesn't blind anyone at all. A free peek coming in from Stanley now. He finds himself one Reason, quick on the trade, to be taken down through the smoke. Stanley looking for the final kill required. Reason.
Oh.
What is that? Pushes with a deal. Stanley will mop them up. It is going to be a very short and sweet defuse for him. In another round into FM's coffers.
So close there. Imperial almost closing that one out. You could see them expecting to have won it at that point when Stanley was left in a 1 versus 1. He's able to find the frag, shuts them down, and you know, that's damaging. The thing is as well, FM, obviously they can get that rebuy out. It's not too bad. The double up setup once again gets donned. Imperial though, they've got that losing bonus. 6 rounds on the trot now. They've been unable to do anything, so the money will be coming in so they can get the buyout at the very least. But obviously the money is invisible.
Clock is going to begin to wind its way down. Early days, but waiting to see what Imperial are going to bring to the table. That's really kind of what sticks out on our mind now. Just going, you know what? Is it going to be that thing that we've harped on about so many times, or perhaps something different, a little bit more exciting? Weather completely blind, but readjusts, waits, misses another shot though, and that's always a bit heartbreaking to see. Give some information for free to the Imperial side. I think be happy about that. But look at Pulse, just full blind, but still sticking to the site. Imperial, Connor in specific, actually trying to check that, but doesn't check it properly. And actually Pulse do so much.
Yeah, nice little opening frag on towards Jacob. Unfortunately though, as we get the trade back, this does leave Imperial in a fairly effective spot. Makes it so much harder to defend these bomb sites 2-2, especially when Reason should have found that frag on towards Fry. Somehow he peeks out, he got the drop on him, went for the run and gun, the pre-fire, and was just able to obliterate him. Now just 3 minutes left on the side of Imperial. This early into the round, it's going to be very hard to do.
I'm just shocked at some of these shores being lost. Really shouldn't be taking place at all. You just don't expect it from these caliber of players. But I think one of the things about Imperial, right, is that they do have talent.
Oh,
just doubling up with the AWPs. They ray down, fire from above. Imperial, they can't get close. They're left in a 1 versus 4 again. And I just want to bring us back to that point. I tried to kind of slice in there because the Orcs really are just the background act there, which is Imperial. It's not like they don't have talent. You've got players like Boaster who are. They have so much ability to find their shots.
yeah, it's true. This is the thing, right? You've got Connor that was one of these players that was like, sure, Connor makes weird decisions at times. Seems like he still needs someone kind of behind him to utilize him correctly. But he has so much talent in terms of his aim. And that was kind of where he came from. And I feel like we haven't really seen Connor get to where I think he can be. He's still a very talented player. Rifle skills is absolutely fantastic on this guy. But it just still seems like there's something missing for, you know, for him to get the full Connor experience. With Dansky as well, something's been around for so long. You know, he can wear all the hats. He can use the AWP if you need him to. Can rifle, fantastic at all things involved. Does a great job. And then Boast, as you were saying, the man that departed to Europe for a little while, played in quite a few different teams. Boast, you know, he played with Orbit, Epiphany Bolt, and stuff like that. He's always been able to dedicate a lot of time to the game. Much as you were saying with Snods earlier, Boast puts a lot of work in, great work ethic, wants to try and improve, wants to get himself onto a good level. And then Jacob trying to construct everything together and run the whole ship. You would imagine in these sort of scenarios, they would be coming out on top. And, you know, when they have the upper hand in terms of positioning, they should be winning it. Because FM does have a lot of talent as well. You know, neither of these sides are really underwhelming in terms of the actual players. It just seems like right now, decision-making and just weird stuff. Like, Imperial know FM been going for this very aggressive style of CS. We've seen that monster push before. They try and charge their way out. You had the angle covered. Reason was in the great spot. You know, that's the power play. How do you counter it? You get into that top left angle, you hold by monster. They might clear it, but you run the risk. If they push out, you have the upper hand in terms of positioning. Doesn't do anything. Opens fire like a second after he's peaked and just gets owned.
It's textbook though, isn't it, right? I think it's the way you have to approach it. And to take it one step further, you kind of have to look at the Imperial lineup and just go, you know what is going wrong? Because clearly, somewhere in that chain link of communication, things are just not being set the right way, because I can't imagine that we're seeing that same old call of just keep these angles dry, approach the round in this sort of a way. It feels like something's got to be going wrong in the way that they approach the round as players, not just as a team. Either way though, it is the 11th. Can Imperial bring things back before it does get too late? Because if the plow's on.
Yeah, they are just destroying everything in front of them right now. They are giving Imperial no chances at all. And once again, they get the opening frag. Jacob gets picked off on his lonesome. They have these Tech 9s and the 1 AK. They want to try and use their aggression, their brute force, linked together, push as a unit, try and overwhelm them, Wolfpack it. But Weber wants to try and slow things down. Leaves them now in a 3 versus 4. You have the 1 AK on Windansky, Tech 9 to play with. Connor's looking a little bit green around the gills, isn't 100% healthy right now, and they're splitting up once more and just allowing these picks to come in for the side of FM. This should be 8-3.
Once it gets to 8-3, just it gets worse and worse by the second. And my real big ultimate fear here is the idea of that kind of 12-3, kind of 11-4 half. I don't know if Imperial can bring things back. We're going to have to see when Dansky is going to deal with Stanley, though, brings it to at least 2 versus 3, which in standard CS is a moldable round. But when you look at the way FM are holding these sites, look at the angles they're holding, they should be able to find a pick, and then even if they lose one, you look at the 2 versus 1, where FM, they're just going to play off the back of each other, just going to play as a tight-knit unit, and that team play will carry them forward.
Yeah, That's the thing. They can, you know, utilize their communication, hold their angles. They've got utility to play with. Weber as well, just going for the peek towards long. If he sees them peek out, unless they just peek by the close wall, walk their way up slowly, he'll spot them out. He'll get the information. But they are just going to be running their way up. Playing off the close wall, you have to go for the wide peek if you want to spot them. Obviously, he's focusing now towards the right side as well as everyone for the jump phase. Allows them to just enter their way through. They sneak on towards the bomb site. 9 seconds left though. They have to commit to that plant. The bomb will go down. Actually, he's going to stop. Tries to fight a frag on towards Weber. That's only one man on the site. You need to get a follow-up frag, Windansky. It wasn't a 1 versus 1. The only way you won that round is if you got the bomb down.
It's all of these individual decisions as well. It throws back to that comment of communication that I tried to kind of bring in, which is a lot of these players are communicating different ideas, and I think they're all very, very smart in their own way. But tying it into something is rough, and then look at Windansky there as well, tries to give them something off the cuff, tries to go, you know what, I'm in a 1 versus 1 here, but you're not, you're in a 1v2. That bomb plant was everything you needed, it was the light at the end of the tunnel, and you chose to throw it all away, the man that ended his own dream.
Yeah, obviously unfortunate. Wanted to try and take the fight, hoping he could find those frags and shut down the round, but it just didn't work that way. He had no time to play with, and they lose off the back of that. Now, 8-3 is going to be the scores on the doors. And you can see Imperial hoping they can at least get something that's going to try and help them. This is nowhere near enough of a buffer. If FM take the pistol round, the game is basically over, but Reza makes it slightly easier for them. Gets the opening frag, unfortunately Pulse can trade it back. Leaves them in the 4 versus 4. He also has to drop on them in that rear angle, but they had it covered. Even with the flashbang going over to try and slow down Connor, he still found the frag.
Still toying with the idea of just slamming open that door and spraying on through, or just waiting for steps. Two certainly different ways to approach it. Meanwhile, look at Fry's position. He's going to already have spotted that barrel, so he knows there's a player close. Question is, when is he going to face? Jacob going to walk right on in. Now he waits. This is so smart. Sees 2 players and has a choice to make. Find one, wait even for a third, perhaps Stanley as well in the crossfire. This is just masterful. Thanks, Fry, putting on a show for us.
Yeah, that was huge. That's the thing, right? You just use your trigger patience, you let them walk through. No one clears the angle at all. You know, sometimes in situations like that, you see 2 people walk through, and then someone will clear it just out of habit, and it's like, oh, it throws the whole thing away. No one clears it, so obviously someone's called it clear at that point, even when they haven't checked. They just walk in and get mowed down. I mean, that's just awkward.
The thing is as well, is usually that's your hype trigger point, right? You usually see people getting so excited over that sort of play. But it doesn't feel like it. It feels like you almost be forcing it at that point, because Imperial, it's a mistake we've seen time and time again from them. Now we're just going to see them at least try and engage in a few duels here and there. It does get pitted into a 3 versus 3 as Connor is going to burn away in the fire and the flames. Can they make anything work at all here? Boast up. Already going to go for a bit of a jump. Oh, shot to miss from Nilzinho just by a little bit more time. But then he just readjusts. He gets himself into another toilet. Shakem is pretty much the man of the hour here with the Tech 9.
This is the thing. This is a winnable situation to be in that 3 versus 3. But Nilzinho does fire back. Good trade from Boaster. They can actually pick this up. Because now with Fry left in this 1 versus 2, it's going to be so hard for him to stand down. He has been very effective at clutching so far throughout the series. He's been stepping up when he needs to fantastically. But you get into this situation now where there's 55 seconds left on the clock. You're in a 1 versus 2. They have utility to play with. They have weapons. They have armor. They have the bomb on them. The A site is completely open. You just decide to go for that commit towards B. Hope they make the play as they come over to B. You get the information at the very least. Then you can late rotate towards A and try and do something. But unfortunately, the gamble isn't going to pay off. They will get that A bomb site planted. And they have so much time as well off the back of that because he's so far away to get into these effective after plants.
It's great for these players. It's great for Windansky because this time he's not stuck with 5 seconds to run around with and be a little headless chicken. This time they can literally spend 40 seconds if they wanted just clearing out that site because by all means Fry is just going to have to sit tight and go for this late rotate that we now get to witness. An angle that will be fought here is certainly strong. He could try and pick off that one individual player, but finding that second is always going to be such a tough ask because it gives all the information up. It's him playing all of the cards. We will see a couple of grenades to be expended. Begins his push up the ramp. But even then, he has no idea where these guys are playing. Someone's time is all but being wasted. We'll drop down a smoke onto that bomb, looking for a frag on towards Transformer, at least at a bare minimum. But too much time has been spent. He has to back up.
Yeah, unfortunately, we'll get timed out there. Just trying to find his exit fights as well. Hoping he'd get away with his life, of all things. Unfortunately, does get punished. And Imperial actually get around on the board. This also opens them up for a reset, though. They can get the money out now. They can get the guns out now. Once again, they have money to play with. Go for this buy. But FM, this is one slip in the space of 9. If they reset them at this point, they could be able to lock it down, easily go through with an 11-4 half, which would just be devastating.
It's beating the same old horse at this point. Imperial, we see some hope, and it quickly gets dismantled in the next following rounds. Are we at least going to see something different in this second map? I certainly hope so. I really want to get behind them. They have to prove something in order to merit that. We are already seeing a lot of power coming over towards long. We've got 4 players there, 3 of which bundled up, walking closer and closer by the second towards eventually going to have to make a decision to face into Weber's AWP, but he decides, you know what, actually I want to deal with short first, looking towards toilets to see if I can find anything in that direction, which does buy some time for Imperial to check out these angles. But then there's also the problem, the curveball. If they don't wait, if they spend too much time up here, Weber, he's just going to rotate back.
Well, just backing off there, needs to try and get into a better angle to try and complement his teammates as well. And the T's realise, don't go for the play just yet. Back off, reposition, we have time to play with. We can utilise that utility later on into the round. But the thing they're not aware of, they're not clairvoyant about, is going to be the approach of Pulse. As he comes in with a rear, definitely could execute massively into the round. Single-handedly could shut them down if they're not watching the angle. It seems like he has so far gone undetected. Didn't peek towards playground, hasn't got the information off the back of it as well. Pops the one man towards long, trying to find a frag, will do so in the end, shuts down Boaster, now charges back, but obviously they can reposition. Reason was there the whole time, all he had to do was readjust his crosshair and hold the angle. They're pushing towards the site as well. Nilzinho trying to put the bomb plant, a first frag on towards Jacob. Connor retrieves though.
This trading so brutal for this side right now. Everyone's just going to find the leg, but no scopes. Connor, Windansky and Reason they will combine to at least pick up 2 for their troubles, but they're forgetting about Stanley. He flies on through with the rifle, lets it rip, but it is going to be the trade for Windansky. He does pick it up in the 1 versus 1. 11-4, and we've thrown them away as Imperial. They do get their 5th.
That's huge. That is a massive round for him. Very much needed for Imperial as well. So unfortunate, as that's the thing, time was so close to being extinguished there. If he would have been further back towards long, when he went for that pushing towards the site, you would have got the first opening frag, instantly could have hid, you win the round off the back of time. So, wow, good players. He walked his way back through, he was able to get that kill. Now as well, playing a little bit slower, you're going to utilise this contact orb on Jacob as he holds towards connector, scoped in, hoping to see someone's going to peek into him. Aggression towards short on display as well by Stanley, but that is quickly snuffed out from Windansky. Seems like it will be a fast B play later in this round.
It's going to be an early on trade by Pro. Comes in for a second as well, takes down Reason. Connor is going to pick up the trade for his team, but it's all but looking very, very tough. But Connor, a double kill in fact. Weber deciding, okay, I need to trade this. I need to go forward. I need to pull it back in this tug of war. But no. You've got Connor there just running riot at this point. A triple kill for him in this round. Nilzinho is going to drop the bomb though with that AWP. He has 2 players to find, 2 very low HP players. So the AWP could be both a benefit, but also a double negative. Can he make the wise decision here? Can he make the right one at the right time? Because he's got 2 players, both in different locations.
Yes, exactly. As he repositions his way towards that A-bomb site, could be a massive frag if he does find one here. This is the thing. With the bomb just chilling right now, down as it is, if Nilzinho gets 1 frag, leaves himself in a 1 versus 1, this is still a winnable round. Imperial are favoured, and they do definitely have to drop it in, but they swiftly just walk past. Windansky isn't going to check towards upper. Didn't get any audio cues, didn't work it out. Makes his approach through. Nilzinho is in such a great spot to actually close it out now. They have to recover the bomb. He's going to work out where the first player as the smoke goes through. Finds the frag. Does he know where Windansky is though? This is the thing. Windansky below him, just like to the right as he worked his way round. Just going to charge his way towards the bomb as well as he has to. His hand has been forced. Nilzinho can basically just plant, can just peek when he has to plant and win the round.
Tries to go for the plant. He's trying to be spotted at least. Plant is going to go down, in fact, so does buy a bit of an opportunity here. A nade land right in Neil's feet and a long duel to come on through. Windansky makes it work.
Very well played there. Awkward, but he is able to do it. And they do actually close it out with a lot better of a situation than they should have been at that point. You know, Nilzinho as well played it to the best of his ability. Unfortunately, him wasn't able to close things out. So obviously, 9-6. It's going to be that scoreline. Imperial, a last minute, revitalization that they needed, or else they really would have been closed out very quickly. FM now though, scary factor on that T side. Are they going to perform well? Is this where they really bring their A game, shut things down, get this early pistol round, get themselves into a huge lead, and just leave Imperial in the dust?
I'm hoping that we can run behind Imperial, though. That's what I really want to see right now. They woke up late in that first half. That means that they have confidence going to the second half. But time to at least see it tried and tested. As these USBs are going to have to find the headshots pretty swiftly as well. And what's shaping up to be this A site is FM pretty much have all their players building up in towards either short, long, with some presence towards connector as well, being gunned by Weber. But for the most part, it's early aggression. Well, now they're slowing things right down. I like this, right? It gives them some map control to toy with. It's very easy for them to take that uncontested. But then they don't just go gung-ho towards the side. They don't just go, you know what, let's just keep charging forward, because that's where things get risky.
It's true. You need to try and have that slow, calm approach occasionally. Windansky is going to go for the spot, though. Finds out Nilzinho's position as they both get blinded as the flashbang comes over. Nilzinho is able to get out of there, and the push comes through towards the A-bomb. So it's not like they're actually just going to go for the full front or assault as they charge their way through. They're standing with the opening frag off on towards Boaster. What more can they achieve? Jacob is so very low. If they push him, surely should be able to take him down unless he has a good angle to try and get a sneaky little frag.
I certainly can hope, but he's spending more time with his crosser at his teammate's head than he is actually checking these angles, and that's so much time wasted now for the CT side, buying the opportunity for Stanley, Weber, all just to get themselves in positions that are so damn strong for FM. What can be done here? Imperial, they had some time, they had a chance, and he threw it all away.
There you have it. Stanley punishing Windansky for the final frag. As you said, they had a chance to try and work their way through, but it is not going to go that way, and that is huge for FM as well. They come through now, you get that 12-6 lead immediately off the back of your pistol round. You leave Imperial in such an awkward spot in terms of what they actually have to work with. They go for the commit as well, get those 5-7s out, they know they can get the buyout either way. How's this going to go? Can they do anything here? Can they play their close angles? I don't imagine they really can. Are going to go for the aggressive stack towards the bomb site. Might get the drop on them. But if they just scout this out, send one player in, get the information early, which will be Pulse, they can just back off and go to A if they want to now.
It could be the call. Pulse is only going to find one player and wouldn't actually be able to spot even a couple more, but certainly can at least get an inkling that perhaps there is some sort of aggression going on that site. But Nilzinho actually probably being the bigger factor right over towards long, because if he just keeps on pushing and realizes that, wait, no one's peeking me, not even hearing any sound, then he can just go, hold on boys, let's play with that peak we found on short to then find out that it is that stack. So it's the same old point, just a different way of approach.
Yeah, that's the thing. You make your way towards the A-bomb site, you realise there's the welcome mat off the back of Pulse as well, the first initial phase. You can be like, okay, they're stacked towards me, it's heavy. Doesn't even matter, apparently Pulse is going to find the 2K. Stanley as well, he's getting a little bit edgy for frag, so he will take down his teammate and then also get picked off in the long run by a reason. If they lose this round, I'd be really sad.
Karma. That's pretty much Stanley's brute end there. Will get taken down, but yeah, I still don't really see too much of round loss potential unless Reason can go absolutely huge. I think Fry should just be able to snatch up that bomb as well, get that one right back over on towards this A site, which, bear in mind, they have full control of. There is no one there at all to contest it. You're basically arguing that is a retake possible for Imperial with no kits, no utility, just basically one rifle and some head armor? I don't know.
Yeah, it's very unlikely. They shouldn't be able to really do too much, especially when these angles are covered. When Dansky, he's going to get turned to mincemeat as they have those SMGs up against an unarmored opponent. He should fall so quickly. He does tag Nilzinho down fairly low at this point. You can see just trying to do whatever he can. He's not invested anything into the round, right? He's bought that 5-7, whatever. It doesn't really matter. You're just going to use your USP next round anyway. You'll have a rifle. Just try and take the fight, see what you can do, whilst Reason does the smart thing, holds back and just holds into the AK.
Yeah, I like this. It's pretty much just try and get putting your money where your mouth is almost in terms of this 5-7, get that impact. But with these constant flashes being popped off, that's really hard. Nilzinho is just 12 HP, so that's something you can see this 5-7 try and do some work with. But even then, tapping in the way he is, well, it's making it tough. Weber is going to be put fairly low. Weber actually just going to find one. Windansky making some sort of benefit out of it, but really nothing too close.
Yep, well played there, as they are able to work their way through. FM looking good as ever, really, off the back of that. Imperial, though, obviously they're still struggling. They haven't got themselves into a good spot with their economy. It's going to take a while. This will be the last round. Ideally, the FM should just be able to stomp them on. They do have that 1 AK to play with, but that is going to be it. Reason, hopefully he can do something with it. If they're going to have a miracle in this round, he is going to be the one to cause it.
Yeah, they're pretty much just searching for a hero in the night. It's almost just too big of an ask at this point. Reason working out for him. Pulse already going to find himself one on towards Connor, making mincemeat off his opposition. This UMP is going to see a quick trade coming from Reason at least, so that's something. But 4 versus 3, already much tougher for Imperial to work with. And take into account as well Jaken's position, because with that USP, winning this duel, just another tough ask. A headshot with the USP doesn't really do too much, especially in that scenario. Right, close range, going to deal with it. A booster come in, Stanley going to respond, spraying them down. Windansky now an armorless.
Yeah, unfortunate for him there, obviously, as well. Did grab the AK, but won't be able to slay today. He will be picked off. Finally, the buyers come through, though. This is the game changer. Can Imperial actually try and change their luck? Windansky's going to don the AWP. If we see him take potentially some aggression early on towards mid, just scout out a little bit, be organic, try and take that AWP towards B, go for these long picks, be very fluid, find those opening frags, at least get information off the back of it. If you can hold FM in their very confident style of CS early on, it's going to help massively. The flash goes over as well to try and allow them, to slow them down, as the connector control has been taken by FM. And then they're set up for, once again, a B take. Windansky, he isn't really going to get anything out the back of this as well as he's played slow. So they don't have information. This won't be a fast rotate towards B straight away. This will be a slow retake coming in.
If there's anything left in the tank for Imperial now, is the time to show it was already where they're going to push on for with this UMP. Delete, shake him right from that smoke reason. He's going to find one at crossfire. And Connor as well should be fairly good. And in fairness to them, they find themselves two, but is two going to be enough? No, it's not quite Tuesday. There's Nilzinho who's going to take down Reason. And it's frags all across the board, but now swaying in one direction. FM. This is a 3 versus 2. With Nancy up towards heaven, yes, it's a fairly smart angle. But if FM played smart here, which is something we always certainly expect, this is a retake that is impossible. Stanley just going to sit tight, takes down Poster. A shot to be missed from Windansky as well. Gets the repeat, but finding his next two players. Well, good luck with that.
I think it is Tuesday, mate.
Might be, who knows. At this point, I'm fairly gone on the days of the week. It's eSports. We don't pay attention to that stuff, do we?
It's true, but obviously, as you were saying, Windansky not going to be able to do too much in this. Forced to save. Luckily, it's going to be the AWP that they actually carry through into the next round, so it aids them a little bit. We didn't see too much initiative from him into that. Played towards long, didn't go for any information peaks, just tried to hold his ground, hoping they'd charge into him, potentially get the opener. Just, standard CS, just trying to slow things down. But now he kind of has to be the playmaker at this point. If they want to do anything, or if he wants to just hold back, just hold an angle, just try and stay alive and carry that through into the next round, ideally, because they're not going to be able to do much.
Yeah, and I think the concern here is all in all, it's 13-6. Just to repeat that again, it's 13-6.
Yep.
Imperial, they're not on their last legs. We crossed that bridge a round ago. Now we're kind of looking at them going, okay, can you bet this scoreline? Playing for a win? That's such a big ask. You're basically saying I'm going to walk into the shop today, buy a lottery ticket, and make £1 million. That's about the odds.
It's true. Remember, guys, you have to be over 16 to buy lottery tickets. That's a top tip.
Live tip from Jackie.
Yep. Keep those in mind. Put that on your fridge, print that off. Show that to your family as they get ready for their onslaught towards the A-bomb site. Can they actually find the entries, though, or will they be punished off the back of this? You will see Pulse leading the charge with the AK. Is he ready to slay? The first headshot comes in, and a fourth supposed to hit this ECK. There's Weber and Fry as well, the dream team, as they start to pick everyone off. Just Jacob and Windansky left, and they are going to sprint out of there. Jacob can try and go on the hunt, try and fight, might as well do whatever he can, but Windansky just needs to get away and save.
Yeah, Jacob is literally the walking definition of coulda, woulda, shoulda. This pistol is all but meaningless. He's being so slow here. That really doesn't bear any reward at all. It's a fruitless strategy. So he needs to get on his running shoes and dart on forward and just try and force the issue. Windansky on the flip side, sit tight, but unfortunately he's going to be triangulated, taken on down. Woolworth is closing in from both sides as FM take down him. Jacob is going to find at least one trade in return, but I don't know, Jackie. It's a very, very brutal standpoint.
Yeah, this is really awkward for them. Like, they're going to be able to get a buyout here. They'll squeeze their way through. They have utility as well. But it's just kind of awkward. Like, Windansky doesn't have to skimp on utility. I don't know why he didn't just commit and just go for the save at that point. You're not really going to do any damage to FM's economy. It's not really worth it. Like, you might as well just hold on to the AWP. But obviously, they go through. FM are looking strong. It's the complete flip side as well, because this is the thing. Imperial struggling so much on their T half. They never really had anything to work with. It was always the same old story. FM, they're unique. They know how to switch things up, and it's worked very well for them. Luckily, Imperial are actually going to go on the hunt here. You can see they go for these information plays early, but unfortunately, they're just slightly missing their targets. And Weber here, playing around the smoke, could be devastating.
It's so awkward to watch, because that could have been so good. But unfortunately, the aggression is still coming one direction. It's just FM saying, oh, hey guys, yeah, we're going to walk into the B site right now to get a side order of Connor as well, and they just get everything they asked for. No mistake at all. Now for Imperial, that aggression, it's all but late round in this retake. It's reliance on Jacob always to find that pick, but not only just one, double up for a second. You can only ask for so much. Imperial already opting to back off and go for that save.
He's bouncing around like a madman as Weber puts him down. 2 men left standing. This will be the 15th round secured by FM, as Imperial just cannot do anything. If they get picked off as well, they'll be left in even a worse situation, as they're just struggling trying to hold on to these weapons if possible. Luckily, they will get through with this double orb.
Yeah, double orb at least plays into something, but it's very, very tough for them. But at least with that double orb, it's something different, right? That's always something you can argue. But it's that point of how many rounds can you chain together in a row? Because it's not like we're seeing 14-6 or 13-6 where they have at least some room for mistake. It's, you know what, if you cock up at least one play, if someone screws up, someone leaves the door open for FM, they're going to pounce on through and take the win.
I love pouncing all over the place. It's my favourite hobby. So hopefully let's see if they can do so. As the push comes in, it is going to be Pulse leading the charge. Windansky is there playing stealthy around the smoke. This is smart. This is the thing. We've seen a little bit of restricted styles, yes, coming out from them. Now they start to switch it up a bit. This is where it could actually work out. Frag gets the everyone towards Jacob. They have that short control, but the connector push is going to be huge. They're so close. They know it is going to be that B commit, but they all reposition. They don't want to go the same way. They're delayed on the push as well, and their teammates on the site are getting overwhelmed. There's no quick trade back. The door's being covered. They walk out. This is just a meat grinder.
Simple stuff. Imperial all lying upon a chopping block, as it is just going to be simple frags to be collected. Reason is going to find one, but Jackie, let me ask you, how many times have we seen Reason left in a situation where he's finding a few picks here and there? How many times have we seen Windansky with an AWP trying to collect up some afterplants, trying to collect up some frags towards the end to make it seem possible? Has it ever worked out? No,
this is the thing, right? And you can't do anything. You get left in these situations right now. Actually, Windansky is achieving something. The time is going to tick away. Surely he doesn't win this round. Gets the pick off on towards Fry. Pushes his way towards the site as well. Has time to play with here. If he actually jumps on the bomb right now, somehow, I think he might have actually done it. Windansky gets away with it off the back of that. Comes into the site. You're basically at that point just getting frags to stat pad. The round is shut out. FM should have won the game. Windansky comes in. You get that opening kill. 2 unreal pistol shots because they just peek into you. That is so weird. Questionable facing from FM, obviously thinking they'd already closed the game out. But Windansky somehow staying alive in that one.
I have no idea how he's done that, honestly. That is some classy stuff from him. You can't judge him at all. That's real great work. And it does at least back up the point that Imperial do have so much prowess in Counter-Strike. They're not just bad players getting stomped by FM right now. Osha, looking for a bit of a double kill, only going to find one though, and this is where the point kicks in for FM, where we go, okay, Imperial, they get themselves around, but FM, they're going to respond. Push and shove.
Yeah, they are thirsty. Hungry for these rounds as they make their way through, just trying to choke the opposition. And Windansky, he's got his hands firmly around his neck. He didn't ask for it. He didn't want it. It's not consensual.
Consent is everything, Jackie. 15-7 now. FM, pretty much just looking at end this one.
Yeah, seeing if they can close it out. Obviously, they're just going to be holding their angles as they get ready for their push. Revving the engines, foot is on the pedal. The smoke will slow them down, though. They'll have to try and spice things up a little bit. Will they find that opening frag over towards short? If they get that, they have a bit of a leak. They can slip their way on towards the bomb site. They need to kill Jacob, essentially, at this point. Connor is actually going to try and take the face as well. He's the frontline infantry now. Nice use utility. You're drawing your opponent's back. They've saved that utility to the late game. Use it efficiently, and that is the right time to do so. The peak comes round. Connor will get the opening frag and the follow-up on towards Fryer as well. He was so low. Nilzinho fires back as he works his way in, though. Taking down Connor. Jacob on the site. What can he actually achieve? Just going for the pre-fire. Will eliminate Nilzinho. Weber has to 1 versus 3 to win this round.
Imperial have done just enough to put themselves in this advantageous spot now. 1 versus 3 should by all means be impossible, but well, gets himself one. But Reason is going to secure that trade, and Imperial now starting to kick it into gear. 15-8 is going to be the score, and we see a bit of a stutter pause, but it does get thrown away very, very quickly. And this raises the question of, okay, Imperial, do they have something there? Did it take so much, well, so many rounds almost for them to just sit idly by and get stumped until it was 15-8 for them to show up? Or is this just a short stint, a 500-meter run before they eventually run out of breath?
I really don't know, because this is the thing, right? They don't have bad CT halves. Usually they have pretty good CT halves, but it just looks so sloppy until this point. Maybe this is a game changer. Maybe this is where they actually get back into it. Invigorated off the back of the win from Windansky. They're pushing their way into the site now, just taking so much aggression. Windansky, he is single-handedly slowing down this team, but Pulse can fire back, finds the frag on towards him. He's on a 3 versus 3. B-bomb site completely open at this point. They're going to go for the stack. They've also sent one player on the flank. Jacob will arrive there back to try and defend it. He was repositioning. It's going to be hard. This is the thing. 3 players left, group, Wolf packed up on the side of FM. You have utilities players to try and get your way to the site. You can zone out and force out the CTP. Also, you have Reason, the only man on the A site. You have the flank coming in, but he's late. It's going to take him a while before he gets any information. So Reason, it really rides on him.
has to step up there, has to get the job done. Drops down a Molotov, really trying to make sure that he can't quickly be pushed coming in from short as well. Now sits tight in this angle, completely blind. Distance already being a big factor. Weber will fall. Now looking for a second. Right, just crisp one tap, responds straight back with a quick swivel of his rifle. Connor in the flank. Now the next policy of insurance here. Peeks on through with the Famous, waiting to find a low HP player, but in fact gets an opportunity on the ones. Fry picks up one in the process. This should be done.
Oh, so smart, dude. Connor played it very well there. Obviously, he saw the bomb planter. No, sorry, he saw Pulse, but the thing is, it's like, alright, wait it out. I want to try and get the fire onto the bomb planter. Kills bomb planter first, Pulse through positions. Easy HE to kill him off the back of the pool that he's low. Very well played. Nice trigger discipline. Didn't go for the first initial frag. If he would have killed Pulse, you could have seen the change around, come off the bomb, get the trade out. You leave in a 1v1. You're in a great spot on the site at that point, play behind the box. It would have been a good round for the T's to try and close out. So, very well played from Connor.
It's just information as well, right? Just getting that bomb planter means that not a single player can be in the backlines, which means he knows exactly how to deal with his opposition. So, smart play all round. Lots of options, lots of information. Let's see if they can keep this going. 15-9 now, so the gap certainly is being thinned on out. But wear and tear, is it going to be something for the CT side? Already a little bit less aggression in the early couple of seconds of this round. We are beginning to see some picks coming towards Monster, though, as JK and Connor will both be there ready and waiting. The T side is going to well and truly walk into them, but Connor's going to find the first reason. Oh, pretty much a bloodbath as they snap the backwards and forwards, but Fry, this T side, they're coming up trumps. They trade it back to a 2 versus 2. Boaster walking right through the smoke. He could make this work.
Very could do. Play around the smoke flawlessly here. Waiting for the right time to strike. Will work his way through. Gets the headshot on towards Fry. But is he going to clear the angle below him? Nilzinho comes in huge with a frag. Just when Dansky left, he has been the clutch machine for Imperial. The last flicker of hope they have in this 1 versus 1. Nilzinho could close it out. Dansky goes for the pot shot as well. Trying to just connect onto him there. Peeks out, just going for the wild. Spam, hoping to find these frags. You can see him panicking. There's so much time to play with here for Nil as well. So this could be really awkward if Dansky doesn't find this frag.
Craft the angle to be taken from Windansky, though, very much on the longer range perspective, waiting with the AWP, so patient. The nade is going to get thrown. The shoulder peek from Nil, though, plays that one out, but Windansky with the wall bang does tackle the beast.
Windansky is absolutely giving it right now. Just single-handedly shutting down the game. Seems like he had to crouch there as well. His knees a little bit weak towards the end of that clutch.
It's that confidence. Imperial, they couldn't ask for anything better right now. They needed someone to turn up, right?
Yeah, that's the thing, right? No one was actually really going wild for them. They had a few meaningful plays here and there, but there wasn't any individual player they could actually rely on to go big when they needed it. That clutch was just unreal that you've been able to get it anyway. They find their way through now, somehow 10 rounds on the board to 15, when this game should have been closed out earlier.
The troops have been rallied. People are getting hyped. It's 15-10, 5 rounds, all to make it. But it still comes back to that brutal point that if they make a mistake, everything they've worked towards, everything to get them to this scoreline is wasted, meaningless. Bit of early presence begun in towards Connector. It's a big ball off FM. Boaster can have his work cut out for him here, looking for at least to find 1 or 2. Doesn't want to get traded back, and that's why he's searching for that second as well. If he can perhaps connect a bit of a spray down here, his position certainly leaps towards. But Windansky, yet again, the pillar with this AWP, waiting to see what he can do in return.
Boaster leads the charge. Trying to work his way around the angle. Spots out Fry. Tried to hammer into him, but couldn't really do it. Right, will fire back. There's Windansky on the peak, though. Good stuff from that man. Reason as well going to come into effect. They know there's players towards long. Goes for the peak. Wanted to go for the lineup. Finds one towards Nilzinho. Tag on Weber as well. So 2 versus 4. That should very easily be shut out into the favour of Imperial here and get them 11th rounds on the board. But Stanley trying to take the aggression. Really couldn't do anything. And Weber should shortly fall. There you have it. That's that 11th round mopped up for Imperial.
And yet again, it's Windansky delivering a triple kill in that round. This man is unstoppable right now, 15-11. He's doing everything for Imperial. He's saying, alright boys, I'm going to do the work here. All you have to do is a simple task. You have to cover my back, cover the angles that I'm not handling, and make sure that when they do push, you play together and you trade off each other. That's what we're seeing Jacob do. Boaster as well with that early information-based play. This is a much, much better CT side. FM now, they're in a box. They have to kind of bring back that mentality of changing things on the fly. But they're running out of rounds. 15-11? Well, much, much closer than what it should have been.
Say one thing about boxes. using meta cardboard, not very great. Much like this push coming out from FM as they just get shut down very quickly. Obviously, it's an eco, you don't expect too much, but Imperial just dispatching them. Again, like a box.
Simple and easy. A couple of box companies that really ring that motto. 15-12 though, and about damn time we saw a pause.
Yeah, trying to work out what's actually going on here, seeing if they can shut things down. I imagine this is from the side of FM. They're just going to talk about, look, guys, we should have closed this game out ages ago. What is going on? You've got the eco out of the way. You have cash back again now. This is where it needs to be the game changer, right? Because this is the thing. Imperial are just toying with them. Off the back of that round, they've got so much confidence, so much hype. And since then, FM have just been struggling to do anything.
Anything indeed. But what have we been praising about FM? What got us talking about all these players, right? It was that ability for them to change things. So now my kind of thinking is, okay, where has that actually been? Because they've had a fair few rounds with rifles, with utility, to try different things. But every single time they've tried something, they haven't been playing up against a fair fight, a strong opposition. They've been playing up against the god that is currently Windansky, who's just hopping around with an AWP, dismantling them left, right, and centre. That's a different type of opposition to adapt to. Because instead of playing to a team that you're trying to, okay, they're doing this strategy, so we need to play like this, we need to adapt to that in this way. Instead you're going, okay, how do we deal with Windansky? How do we deal with that AWP pressure?
Yeah, it's true. This is the thing, right? It really sort of puts dampener on things, because you can't really counter Windansky when he's playing a little bit more organic now, trying to go for the pushes. That's what I wanted to see earlier when he got the AWP out. Try and use that aggression. Try and get those opening frags. Do something at least. You can't just play that standard side SCS right now when you're getting pummeled on. As soon as he adapted, he's been playing fantastically, and it's really been a game changer. Aggression once again coming out towards mid. Seems like they'll go for that peek through. The early smoke goes down. Drop down towards connector, see if they can get these frags. Look at these positions being utilised. Great crossfires. This is a whole lot different for Imperial now.
Probably almost looking to toy with the idea of walking up in towards connector and trying to force the issue. But Windansky, yet again, a different spot. Looking down with an NDP in towards connector. Nilzinho, in return, has one of his own to try and play with. And that's something that FM can try and toy with, but even then, it could just very quickly be dismantled. Windansky in that position, gonna find us at one. Mostly gonna find a second. Windansky flicking back on towards Fry. Now we talk about Nil with the ADP. This is why. He's there to try and force the pick. Will eventually connect it, but it should be a very easy trade. But no, Nil, a second on towards Poster.
It's mental Nilzinho has been able to stay alive in that situation. You come in with such a huge frag. You leave yourself in a 2 versus 2 now. Nilzinho and Weber in this scenario, having utility to work with on that approach towards the A-bomb site. They get the next frag here. They should show that out of the game. They should win this off the basis of that. Connor is playing by toilets. Close angle, has the M4, Nilzinho with the AWP. Really tries... I mean, he needs Weber at this scenario. This is the thing as well. Connor, smart. Look, he's going to reposition, goes round, spots out Nilzinho. Trigger patience on display. Oh, he wants to go for the knife. Shuts him down, tears him a new one. Absolutely disgusting.
Weber now his work cut out for him. A 1 versus 2, 25 seconds. So there is no time. Pretty much needs to find some flawless shots. Does a bit of damage, but that isn't a frag. That doesn't change anything. He's completely blind. Connor, clearly reeling off of that one.
He's got to be upset about that. He's been absolutely butchered. Nilzinho being taken down. Obviously, fingers as well, they get more money to play with. Not like they needed it at this point on the side of Imperial, but they're going to be happy with it. You go for the double AWP setup now, Jacob and Windansky. You throw another thing into the works in terms of what you can actually bring to the table here, and that's so much range they have. Those scopes have so much distance. So FM, they're stuck with these measly Tech 9s, only 1 UMP. They really shouldn't be able to do anything for the round.
At that point, 15-14. Let that sink in for a second. Imperial, they've come so far, but doesn't matter in the end. Are they going to get these final 2 rounds to force overtime? Tech 9's a small beast, something easy to try and wrap on through, but still very aggressive, very mobile. So not completely off the cuff, especially against a double up setup, bear in mind.
Yeah, that's true. That's the thing. It can work out kind of well in certain situations, but as they make their approach up, and this close angle by toilets, if we see the peak come out, Boaster, this could be horrendous. Has the back of Windansky as well. They should just mow down everyone that peeks into him.
He's going to be a little trade, but Windansky here again, as you say, should just be the man to be the insurance policy. He is going to get caught out by Fry, though, with the UMP. Reason now being put under a little bit of stress. Fry going to find himself another. Imperial, don't lose this round. Not like this. This is the big one. With Weber wrapping on through. He's going to completely catch Connor off guard. Jacob, the last man standing. He is not the man you want in a 1 versus 3 clutch.
They actually lose this round. There's no way. Jacob approaching the site. What can he actually do? Works his way through. Nice shot off on towards Fry, but has to do so much more. This is so hard in a 1 versus 3. Just scuttling around. Nelsinho had the angle covered. They were not happy about that knife.